Hello friends. Right now in 2026, a German state government is in the middle of one of the most watched operating system migrations in history. Schleswig-Holstein, home to 30,000 civil servants, judges, and police officers, is switching everything to Linux and saving over 15 million euros in license costs this year alone. That is money that used to go straight to Microsoft every single year. This is not a story from a computer science textbook. It is happening right now, and it forces a question that actually matters. What is the real difference between Unix and Linux, and why does that difference carry a price tag worth 15 million euros? In this video, we answer that exactly. To understand the difference, you need to know where both systems came from. Unix was born at AT&T Bell Labs in the late 1960s. Engineers there built it to be portable and modular, and they wrote it in C, which let it run on different hardware, a genuinely radical idea at the time. That philosophy spread everywhere. Then in 1991, a Finnish student named Linus Torvalds sat down and built a new kernel completely from scratch. He did not copy Unix code. He studied the Unix design and created something that worked the same way, but was legally independent. That distinction matters enormously. Linux is Unix-like. It shares the same philosophy, the same commands, the same mental model, but it is not Unix. It carries none of the original AT&T legal heritage. That separation is exactly what made everything that followed possible. Here is where the paths truly split. Unix, whether it is IBM's X, Oracle's Solaris, or hydrogen phosphide UX, is proprietary software. The vendor owns the source code, sets the license fees, and decides when you get patches. You are renting access, and you are dependent on that one vendor for everything. Linux takes the opposite position, entirely. It is released under the GNU General Public License, the GPL. That means the full source code is publicly available. You can use it, modify it, and redistribute it without paying anyone. That license is the single biggest structural difference between the two worlds. It is why a government in Germany can take Linux, adapt it for 30,000 workstations, keep 15 million euros at home, and owe nothing to any software vendor. The license is not just a legal detail. It is the whole game. Now look at what the open source model does to release speed, because this is dramatic. Linux 7.0 shipped on April 12, 2026. Linux 7.1 shipped on June 14, 2026, just this past week. That is roughly 9 weeks between major kernel releases. Thousands of contributors around the world are continuously submitting fixes, and Linus Torvalds reviews and ships them on that rolling schedule. If a new CPU architecture lands or a security vulnerability is found, the community patches it fast. Proprietary Unix vendors work on their own timetables. IBM decides when X gets a patch. Oracle decides when Solaris ships a fix. There is no community pressure, no public mailing list, no transparent bug tracker. The Linux model moves faster because no single company controls the gate. That speed is a real competitive advantage, and governments and cloud providers have noticed. So where does each one actually live in 2026? Linux is everywhere modern infrastructure is built. AWS and Google Cloud run overwhelmingly on Linux. All 500 of the world's fastest supercomputers run Linux, a streak unbroken since 2017. Android, which runs on over 70% of the world's smartphones, is Linux underneath. And now government desktops, like those 30,000 machines in Schleswig-Holstein, are joining the list. Proprietary Unix is not dead, but it has retreated to specific strongholds. Legacy banking systems, telecommunications infrastructure, and certified enterprise workloads where a single vendor must be legally accountable, those are the places X, Solaris, and hydrogen phosphide UX still hold ground. The pattern is clear. Linux dominates wherever speed, cost, and scale matter. Proprietary Unix survives where regulatory certification and vendor accountability are the priority. Alright, let us bring it together. Unix and Linux share the same philosophical DNA, the same commands, the same modular design, born from the same Bell Labs ideas. But they diverged on two things that turned out to matter enormously: licensing and control. Unix is proprietary, certified, and stable because one vendor owns the whole stack. Linux is open, community-driven, and fast because no single company does. That difference is why Schleswig-Holstein is saving 15 million euros this year, why every supercomputer on the planet runs Linux, and why AWS and Google Cloud are built on it. So which should you learn first? Linux, without hesitation. It powers the modern internet, it is free to run right now on any machine, and the concepts transfer directly to Unix if you ever need them. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.